kids. So, Joe, you and I are very much the same. I grew up very early going, shit, I'm on my own.
Yeah.
I better take care of things. No one's going to take care of me. So your dad was physically gone. My dad was mentally gone. But
it's probably similar in a lot of ways. It's just this. Yeah. It's the same thing. Recognizing early on that you have to sort this out for yourself. Yes. Whereas I think if everything is laid out for you, people have a tendency to be lazy. The people have a tendency to not think outside the box when the box is how your family has lived for generations.
Right.
See this? This is your grandfather. He's living in the box.
Right.
Your grandfather's grandfather was a part of the box. We all joined the same country club. We have a tradition. You're not going to fuck up the Carolla name. Do you understand me, boy?
Right.
And that shit wasn't available for you or for me. So we were forced to become our own person instead of being what we imitated from our father.
I have a condition that Dr. Drew diagnosed as hypervigilance, which is just literally noticing everything and having weird peripheral vision where I can see stuff that's way off to the side coming, and I profile everything, and it's like a constant... basically, it's like a gazelle drinking out of a river looking for crocodiles constantly. Did you grow up with a sense of, I'm in danger? When you're 9 years old, there's no man living inside your house. It's just your mom.
Well, I lived with my stepdad.
You did?
Yeah.
And did you feel like he could protect you?
Yeah, that helped a lot. But there's just also a weirdness of, no longer knowing my dad. Like, he was just gone. Like, where did he go? He's gone. Like,
how old was he? Were you?
I was 7 last time I talked to him.
7.
So, and then all of a sudden he was just gone.
How much of it do you believe becomes shame on his part? Like, as the years wear on, it's like a library book that you'd never turned in, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. And
I'm sure.
And there's a shame factor there where it's like, oh my God.
I'm sure, but once I had kids, I mean, even before I had kids, it didn't make any sense to me. But once I had kids, it really didn't make any sense to me because I'm like, that is impossible. I could never do that.
What do you think your posture would be if tomorrow the phone rang and it was Joe Rogan Sr. saying...
How'd you get my number, bitch?
And what if he said, hey, all I can tell you is I'm sorry and I want to be a part of your life?
No, you don't. No, it doesn't work that way.
What could he do to...
I'm not interested. I have a lot of people I already know in my life. At a certain point in time, I'm not. The worst that could come out of it is not worth risking it. The worst that could come out of it is I have this nutty fucking person in my life who used to beat my mom up, and he wants to say sorry because he's facing the grave. He's staring at the yawning abyss, and he wants to clean up the problems. Like, you don't get to clean up every problem.
Well, I try to tell this to people because people will go like, but he's your dad.
That's
it's like, no, he's not.
Your friends are, in my opinion, the most important aspect of your life, and your family.
Right.
Because you can't pick your parents. You can't pick your crazy uncle that keeps wanting to fucking come over your house and drink.
Yeah.
Hey, Uncle Bob, you're a douchebag, okay? No, you're not welcome at my house. Get out of here. You're a crazy person that I have DNA that's connected to. So you choose who do you let in and don't let in your life outside of your family. But I say when someone is like that in your family, you should choose to keep them out of your life too. The genetic family is not as important as the chosen family. And the chosen family for me is my friends, my wife, my kids. That's the chosen family. That's what I've all put together myself.
See, again, all insanely...
And my mom. I love my mom.
All incredibly pragmatic.
Yeah.
But against the conventions of life about the blood,
the conventions
family
are nonsense. They're created by fools, perpetrated by silly people. It just keeps going on and on and on until nobody says enough. And if you let these people into your life and they're just constantly wrecking things and fucking things up, look, at a certain point in time, you have to recognize that it's your own problem if you let obvious problems into your life. Like, you've decided to allow this. What's the best that could come out of it? I make an old guy feel good before he dies. Terrific. Right. If you're out there, good luck, buddy. Have a nice life. I don't know you, but thanks for knocking my mom up. I'm enjoying life.
And I'm with you. I'm with you in that
Good job.
He doesn't deserve to be forgiven.
It's not even a deserve thing. I'm not interested. It's not. I don't make a judgment as far as like I want to punish him, or it's like I'm not interested in complicating my life any further. I'm busy enough. If I take 5 minutes with this guy and it's 5 minutes away from me talking to my kids, fuck him.
Right.
That's what I say. Because my kids are way more important to me than some guy that I don't know. So if it's 5 minutes that I could be at home playing fucking Monopoly with my 6-year-old,
right?
There's no way I'm giving it to him. You don't get it, and I don't hate you, and I don't hate anybody.
No,
there's only a certain amount of time in this life.
I know. I had a very uncomfortable conversation with my mom the other day where I had to explain to her there's nothing for us to get back to, which was tough on her.
Those are hard.
But I had to say, like, we never had a relationship, so what are we mourning here? Like, what are we getting back to? There's nothing to get back to. It's not like you were a nurse in World War II and split when I was 13 and I resented you. You locked yourself in your room and yelled freak out and smoked weed. So there was nothing for us to really get back to. And I think a lot of people that have strong relationships, they can't imagine, and Brian has a pretty strong relationship with his family, what you want to keep, what you hear from that is, but it's your dad. And it's like, but it's not. If it
was your dad, it'd be different. You know,
right.
my mom, I'm very close to my mom, and I'm close to my stepdad.
Right.
It's not like I reject all parental influence. It's not that at all. I mean, you know, I love my mom. She's awesome. She's a great person. She was a 21-year-old girl who got knocked up by some guy. I mean, she didn't know any better. She was a child. Not only that, she was a child of immigrants. They were savages that got on boats and came over from Italy and Ireland. They were fucking primates. Yep. They were wild animals that barely had rules, and they came over here
when
and
my sterilization program kicks in. Put an end to this.
Then you get no Adam Carolla, you get no Joe Rogan, you get no Ron Lyle, you get no Billy Joel.
Podcasting.
You get there's a lot of shit you don't get. You don't get James Brown unless you get a kid who grew up in a brothel. You know, I mean, that's the reality of life.
Douglas Pinskys.
It's gonna be,
You get a lot of fucking white people, a lot of milk, a lot of cheese sandwiches,
that's
a lot of mayonnaise.
That's gonna be a crazy speech. All right, you don't want Billy Joel or Ron Lyle? Have at it. Everyone's gonna be a little confused. What the fuck's Rogan talking about?
I think there's a certain amount of, there's a certain amount of struggle that ultimately makes a fascinating person. All of my best friends all had fucked up childhoods.
No, that's
all
true.
My favorite people all had fucked up childhoods.
We need a picture of Ron Lyle, by the way.
How does that relate to how you rear your kids?
I knew you were going to ask that. It's a dilemma.
Oh, sorry.
It's a dilemma because my kids are in this like really.
Colored be good. I know. I saw it earlier. It's my bad. Sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, I want to hear.
So my kids are in a comfortable house with a happy family, and it's different, you know. And I just hope that you can impart the wisdom that you've learned from all your trials and tribulations, and at least give them some sort of a bridge to understanding that there's a bunch of different people and a bunch of different ways to live this life, and that you should try to choose a path that makes you ultimately happy. The good thing is I don't put pressure on them in any way, shape, or form to achieve any sort of academic goals or I give them as much encouragement as I can and happiness when they do things, and we do a lot of stuff together. But I think kids, you have to leave them the fuck alone and let them figure out what they want to do, and then just be with them all the time and just give them encouragement and communicate with them. And that's something I learned from not getting it. And so I wonder if, like, who I am, I probably would have been completely different if I grew up in some sort of a really supportive, different environment, but I probably ultimately wouldn't have been nearly as driven, I definitely wouldn't have been nearly as crazy or violent. You know, all that stuff came out of this fear of having to constantly protect myself.
I'm with you. I need you to talk to my wife a little bit about the education part, because I do have this feeling like it's always college.
Yep.
And I'm like, what are they really going to learn in college? What